Jurassic Rules 123. Hey there, Jurassic. How are you? Thanks for tuning into my stream. Actually in the middle of building a Salamangreat deck. So, or better yet, Jurassic. They banned Miscellaneous Source. I honestly saw that coming, but it was still sad. It had to happen, Jurassic. Oh, that's why you call yourself Jurassic Rules. I will have to admit that Dinosaurs are a cool deck, but oh boy. Did we really need that hit? I'm pretty sure that it did, because I think Fossil Dig Fossil Dig's a pretty good card, but is it really the problem card? Miscellaneous Saurus, of course, is the one that it had to make sense, because Miscellaneous Saurus you discard it from your hand, and your opponent cannot activate any effects or cards in response to your Dinosaur Moss's effects. That's kind of sad. It had to happen eventually, if you ask me. Now they will suck because of the banning of Miscellaneous Source. Well, we won't instantly suck. Let's just say that, because Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is still a pretty good card. If anything, you could try and play a bunch of back row in order to counter your opponent's plays. Banning a Oh, Jurassic. It's at 1, isn't it? Let me go over to the board, to the ban list. Okay, so let's see. Guard Dragon LP is at 1. At least they have Scrap Raptor now. That is a good point. That is a good point, Jurassic. By the way, Jurassic, should I call you by that, or is it alright if I just call you by Jurassic, or is there another name that you want me to call you by? It's just a little preference that just by preference. I'm not forcing you to give out your real name, but we just go by what you think is good for yourself. Anyway, what else is there? Oh yeah, Zoodiac Dryden. This is quite a surprising one. I mean, Zoodiac is a good deck, but I don't think is it really the. Just call me Jurassic. You got it. Zoodiac Trident. Is it really a problem card? Oh, not to mention, I think what happens is that during each turn, just as long as you have enough materials on your Trident, that you could play a bunch of back row in order to counter your opponent's play. I'm just speaking about pure Zoodiac. I'm not talking about Tri-Brigade Zoodiac, but I don't get it. Was it really necessary to ban this card? I think it's just like I said, you have to have a bunch of materials on your Dryden in order to pop a card during every turn, and you might be playing a bunch of back row. Let's see what else is there. I would have done a live reaction of this ban list update, but I was at work, so I really couldn't do anything about it. Yeah, there we go. Everyone has been talking about how Potted Reed was unbanned. What? When did that happen? Potted Reed is right there. It's in the forbidden section. If it had to come back, it would have to be for a very, very good reason. Potted Reed is just way too good. So is Graceful Charity. Potted Reed and Graceful Charity are too good, because if Sky Strikers ever got a hold of those, my goodness, all heck would break loose. Yeah, see, Jurassic is what's it called? Do you see that, Jurassic? Miscellaneous Source is at 1 only. So dinosaurs aren't completely dead, but the literal dinosaurs are. Let's just put it that way. Performance House Skullcrobat Joker. This one I was very excited about. I was very excited to see this. I want to see if I can rebuild Pendulum Magicians again. How about that? I was posting about Skullcrobat Joker eventually getting unbanned. They're not good. It's just that everyone would use them, and that would cause less variety. I guess you're talking about dinosaurs, Jurassic. But yeah, just that everyone would use them. Yeah. Yeah, Konami does have to make room for the newer decks that are coming out. I'm still wondering if Amazement can still compete in this format, but we'll just have to wait and see. And let's see, what else is there? It's just that everyone would use them. That would come. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. If the Sky Strikers and if Sky Strikers ever got a hand of hold a pot of greed, that would be too good. If decks like that discard from hand like Danger and Burning Abyss ever got a hold of Graceful Charity, that would be terrible. And Heavy Storm. I feel is it am I the only one here who thinks that Heavy Storm should come back at least one? One copy of Heavy Storm would be enough, if you ask me. Because there are several cards out there that there are still several spells and traps out there that work off of the graveyard. Like let's say Lunalight Perfume. If it's sent to the graveyard, you can still banish it and then add a Lunalight. Phantom Knight's Fogblade. If it's in the graveyard, you can banish it and then special summon back a Phantom Knight's monster. I mean, like I said, there are several back row cards that you can that work off the graveyard. So I don't see why Konami is still very hell bent on keeping Heavy Storm banned. Did they ban any Synchro monsters? No, not that I know of. These are the only Synchro monsters that are banned right now. But other than that, no latest updates. I mean, is there really anything? The only card that I can think, the only synchro that I can think of when it comes to banning, it being ban worthy is Cypher Lord Omega. That doesn't really do anything in this format right now. It's just because it's only at 3. It's only at 1. Excuse me. What else is there? Striker Dragon. This is a huge hit. Brionac and Trishula are power. Yeah, I suppose so, but people aren't really playing that right now. Also, I think if you use one of those, I think you use the card Synchro Transmission or something, or in order to Synchro Summon during your opponent's turn, or you could use Halka Fibrax's effect to tag out for a Synchro monster, a Tuner Synchro, and you can just Synchro Summon from there. And then use Trishula's effect. And I should really be using a mouse. Let's see if this works. I have heard people on YouTube talking about how ABC Dragon and some other related cards were banned. Yeah, it did happen at one point because if you're familiar with Master Rule 2020, the Master Rule 2020 update, back in March 2020, I think Konami was kind of skeptical about how people are going to approach this new format. So, as a preemptive hit, they decided to limit ABC Dragon Buster as well as Totally Awesome. There was another card that they were planning on putting a hold on, but I can't remember it at this point. Anyway, ABC Dragon Buster, it doesn't really do that much this format. I think trying to consistently bring out 3 copies of Dragon Buster is a bit too slow. You would have to have a lot of cards in order to bring out all 3 on turn 1. Totally Awesome. I think it's a bit more consistent to bring out Totally Awesome than it is. 3 copies of Toad. Then I think it's much more consistent to do that as opposed to bringing out 3 copies of Dragon Buster. Anyway, yeah, I was trying to talk about Striker Dragon. Is it true that Dragon Link decks were trying to run 3 copies of this card just so that way they can reach their boot sector launch? I think so. Striker Dragon and 1 doesn't really do anything for Dragon Links. I mean, they still have their combo piece, but Jurassic Rules 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much for the follow, guys. I think we're at 50 followers now. Yay us! Jurassic, thanks for joining. Thanks for being here, fellow Majesty. Striker Dragon at 1. Yeah, so Striker Dragon at 1 doesn't really do much. And they still have their combo piece, and I guess Dragon League can still do something, just not as well as they have been doing with Guard Dragon LP being unbanned. But I am so glad that LP is banned now. In fact, you know what I should do? I should watch that episode of Banlist Roulette with Simo where he's protecting all the. I just love Simo's Banlist Roulette series. It's a lot of fun. He likes to make it. He likes to make the ban list picks satirical, and he just does a good job at executing it. Do you like Ice Barrier decks? I have never tried an Ice Barrier deck. I think now that I'm much more used to playing on Dueling Book, I could try build an Ice Barrier deck, just for the fun of it. But I don't really see the. There really isn't anything that stands out for me at this point about that deck, unfortunately. Salon Great Miragestallio, of course, it's at 1 now. So that should be a lot of fun to build. That's the deck that I am building right now. This one is just a surprise. This one was a surprise. Sky Striker Mobilize Engage at 1. I wonder what that's going to do for the format. Well, the thing, the what's it called? What I can think of right now is that if you have Hornet Drones, and you use Hornet Drones as a 1-card Kagari, and you can actually Hornet Drones is in fact a 1-card Sky Striker Ace Sieg, or any. It's pretty much you can use a Hornet Drones for any almost any Link 2 monster. Actually, I wanted to assume that Hornet Drones can easily get you to Predaplant Verite Anaconda, so that way you can reach for your Red Eye Dark Dragoon. But unfortunately, Kagari does point away from you, and the what's it called? The token that you summon off of Hornet Drones isn't really an effect monster. It really isn't. So there's still quite a few things that I want to work out with when it comes to Sky Strikers. I really am curious as to how I can execute it, or in this case, engage in it. Huh? Sorry. Double Iris Magician. Just like I said with the Skullcrobat Joker, I am very interested in building Pendulum Magicians again. Symbol of Heritage. I think this is the premature burial for monsters in your graveyard with the same name, right? So that's what we have to deal with, everybody. I'm very eager to see where we can go with this.